Hey, beautiful people. Hope everybody had a good day. Yeah, sun is shining. It's a lot to be thankful for. So I'm just gonna dive right into it. So I wanted to touch about something that's really, really sticky for me. I mean, really sticky. And it's called infidelity. Yeah, that's like one of them subjects that doesn't give me a good feeling inside. So I wanted to talk about how would you handle infidelity. For me, that is literally one of my deal breakers. If I cannot trust you, if you are unfaithful, if you're thinking about it, that for me is a problem. Um, I can remember as far back as, falling in love, being young, with someone that still had a lot of playing to do. It will be different situations. Um, People coming over to the house, and then they are not truthful about it. Or literally seeing somebody ride by my house and I say, oh, I saw you in the car with such and such and such. And, oh, yeah, I was just giving them a ride. Yeah, okay. But you literally, heard me call you and you did not respond. So, yeah. Um, I can say that I've literally stopped relationships based on not being able to trust someone. Um, I had a really really good thing going. Let's say right after high school, just entering college, and this one really blew the wind out of my sails because um really good guy. I knew him for a while. My family knew him. He went to our family church. Um, Very, very good guy. But me trying to pursue my dreams, I think interfered with that relationship. So for a long time, I blamed myself for how things went because um, we tried to do the long distance thing, and you know he stepped out on a relationship, and the woman that he got involved with literally said to me, "Well, I knew that you had moved to another state, so I decided to make my move on him. I knew he was a nice guy. He kind of fell for the bait." So, of course, that crushed my soul. And I was like, I cannot trust you anymore. So, even though, he tried to deny it and apologize, for me, that's a deal breaker. Like, I don't care how good our relationship is going. Like, it's a deal breaker for me. So, I had to, break it off with him. Um, in another situation, with an ex, it was a child involved, and my heart of hearts knew that something wasn't right. However, they were good at I guess lying and manipulating the situation to make me think that I was wrong about the whole thing. So I always say trust your gut, trust your instinct, because if something does not feel right, then 9 times out of 10 it's not right. So my gut was telling me that he had been unfaithful. Um, I seen a child that looked like him. Of course, he denied it all. Okay, fine. So I was like, okay, well, I don't have any concrete proof, you know, because this child just happens to look like you. Um, you have been warned that if the truth ever comes out, then you can consider our relationship done. So, yeah, it took about 7 years to find out. And once I found out, it was done. It was like you do not have a leg to stand on. I made you a promise that if it ever came out that a child was involved from your wrongdoing, that our relationship was done. And it was done. Um, I had another incident where um, my significant other at the time had thought about stepping out. Couldn't give me a reason. They just wanted their cake and eat it too. But however, the young lady put everything on pause because she's like, I know you're involved with someone, and I'm not going to do that to another woman. You know, despite you trying to lie and weasel your way into my life, I'm going to stop it before gets any further. So I confronted the person and said, so reasoning like, what were you thinking? Like, did you not think that wasn't going to find out about it? Well, their response was, I didn't cheat on you. Like, it might have been like buying gifts or, taking them to lunch and this, that, and the other, but I didn't actually cheat on them. Okay, you might not have actually cheated, but you were thinking about it and you were trying to plan an occasion. And the only reason it didn't happen was because another black woman said she was not going to go through with messing with someone that was involved with already had a girlfriend or whatever the situation was. So that was the only reason that things did not materialize. But you were thinking it. So for me, you already crossed the line and you violated my trust in our relationship. So that relationship was done. So I think it's like, how would you handle infidelity? I know everybody doesn't think like that. Like, some people are willing to give second chances. They're willing to like look the other way, turn the other cheek, give the relationship another shot. But that's never been me. That's never been me. I am not that person. Like, it's just certain things that I just cannot forgive, and infidelity is one of them. So, needless to say, any relationship that I've been in that included someone like doing something that I could not trust them, or they were like trying to step out, or they did step out, it was a done deal. It was like no forgiving. It was no trying to work it out. It was no trying to, you know, give you a second chance. It was none of that. None of that. None of that. Like, maybe I'm being too hard. Maybe that's a little harsh. Because I sit back and I look at different situations with, couples, and somebody steps out or do something that wasn't trustworthy, and they figure it out. Like, they end up together, they stay together. You know, I don't knock anybody for their decisions. I don't like anybody for their decisions, because at the end of the day, you have to live with whatever you decide. And for me, I sleep better at night knowing that I have removed myself from a situation where I don't feel like I can commit or be into anymore because you have violated my trust. So I remove myself from a situation. So me and my husband now, we talk about that like all the time, because I've had situations where people like were not trustworthy and did something to betray my trust, and he's had situations like that. So we always talk about like what would we do if that situation ever came about in our marriage. And we're like on the same page. Like, that's like the ultimate sin. Like, we just cannot tolerate it. Like, if you violate my trust like that, then it's done. So like, we have like a clear understanding that yeah, it happens one time, then you can just consider us a wrap. So I think that keeps us grounded. Because we both know how each other feel about it, and our feelings are so strong against infidelity, that's no line that neither one of us want to even cross. Because we both know how it feels, and we have that frame of mind that we cannot do that to someone else, not alone like to each other. Like, I've never been unfaithful to anybody, so like I couldn't see me dealing with that with somebody else treating me the same. Like not valuing my what I have to offer. Like, if you feel like that's what you need to do, then go ahead and do you. But remember that we're through. So, yeah, I just was thinking about that because that was a thought that crossed my mind. Like, how would you handle infidelity? You know, um, is it a deal breaker? Would you try to work it out? Do you give second chances? You know, is this just something that really does not bother you? I'm always curious about that question. Because a lot of people had different thoughts on when someone steps out in a relationship. So, yeah, that was my subject. Like, how would you handle infidelity? Yeah, for me, I don't handle it well. I do not handle it well. So, yeah, but that's what I wanted to talk about.